I can't believe you said I've only done one barbecue for you as well.
I'm pretty sure you have.
I can't remember it. When was that?
You guys came over and I did it, remember?
No,
I think that's the first time like we went out.
I remember that. I don't remember you coming around here and cooking us dinner at our house. Jesus.
Oh, geez.
Oh. I suppose if you're no good at it, that'd be my fault because I should have shown you. I can clearly say that I'm way more handy than he is.
Yeah, that's true.
That's debatable.
So you've moved out of home, but do you still do his washing and cooking and cleaning?
No.
You
Well,
tried to at the start.
I think when you first moved in here, I did. Like, I did a lot of, like, because I'd come every day and clean and stuff like that, and then I sort of, like, got a bit over that. And then...
I need to grow up with it.
Yeah. And then I think with your washing, you do bring stuff when you've got stains on them.
Yeah, the
Like,
stain thing, that's one
Yeah.
thing I still haven't worked out, is how to get stains out of
yeah.
white shirts and stuff like that.
Beck, we know a lot about Nathan and his football prowess, but what's your sporting claim to fame?
Oh, gosh, I don't think I've got any, do
Oh, can I tell you that one?
Sure.
She reckons that she's a pretty good touch player. She used to always claim it that she was pretty fast, and then she also claims netball as well.
Are these allegations true, Beck?
Yeah.
I think touch, I just would hang on the wing and, because I could, you know.
Real fast, that's what she said. Well, she actually said that most of my footy ability comes from her side of the family, not so much Dad's.
It does, actually.
Let's go back to when Nathan was a kid. What was he like as a youngster?
Matt was a good kid when he was younger, but maybe a little bit debatable when he was a bit
A few
older.
hiccups along the
Few
way
hiccups
that you don't
along the
mind
way.
telling people.
Yeah. But, you know,
Please share.
I don't know if he'd want me to share. But no, all in all, he's been a good kid.
What about on the rugby league front?
He was always a safe kind of player, like he always did his job, and I think that's why coaches liked him. I wouldn't say that he was the best player on the field by any means of the imagination.
I actually used to always know when I didn't play that well. I'd get in the car, and because Mum was always pretty nice, she'd always just be like, "Oh, you're all right today." That's when I knew I had a shit game. That's when I knew. Yeah.
Beck, do you remember a moment when you thought to yourself, he's got what it takes to make it?
I knew he would have it in him because he's a perfectionist and he works really hard and trains hard, so I didn't think it was going to happen so quickly. I was just proud that he did make it.
Out they come. They are 0-5 here at Amy Park.
It was such a big achievement, like not many young kids get to do what Nat did, and I just kept on praying that he'd do really well and play well, because you know, it is a lot more pressure on somebody like him as opposed to somebody else making their debut, because he was in the spotlight already, being Ivan's son. As a family, we were so proud of him.
When Ivan was a Tiger and Nathan was a Panther, when they faced off against each other, you team Ivan or team Nathan?
I sort of like stayed in the middle, and whoever won, I was happy. So I think it was you. I think you beat Dad. I hated those days. I just didn't like when they played against each other. That was horrible.
So you got your way in 2019 and everyone was hoping for the world, but things didn't go to plan.
The New Zealanders go back-to-back and condemn Penrith to a 6th straight defeat.
Can you believe, Ivan, you're running last?
We are where we are, mate.
Sorry?
We are where we are. You got to believe it.
Just to see Ivan, you know, come home and, you know, he was struggling. There was one stage where I sort of like had to call on his brothers to help me out a little bit because he was quite low. I just had to keep on encouraging Ivan and, you know, reinforcing that he is a great coach. He's got so much more to offer to rugby league, and I didn't want him to walk away.
There's more questions than answers, and we're going to have to find some answers for sure.
That was a very difficult time. I was not at my best throughout that year. Definitely the hardest period for me to navigate through, and I don't think I would have. Yeah, I don't think I would have without Beck.
Now there's two words that you probably don't want to hear, and that's tick and tock.
God.
Do you still cringe when you hear those words?
Yeah, 100%.
He hates the song too, Blinding Lights.
Can't listen to that song.
We have to turn it off every time we hear it.
Obviously there was a lot of hysteria after that moment, given what we're all going through as a society, but as a mother, what do you say to your son? How do you get them through that?
Yeah, that was a tough one. I actually couldn't be with him. I ended up getting an exemption from the rugby league so I could be with Nat and comfort him, because it was tough, it was horrible, and you know, like at the end of the day I had to say to Nathan, you've made a mistake, you need to learn from it, you need to move on. He's still a young boy and he is going to make mistakes, he's human.
It was a pretty big stuff up and something I regret every day. I think the hardest part was, I felt like I embarrassed mum and dad and the rest of my family too, which, was hard for me to take, and I think I owed it to them to kind of, repay that favour, because it was pretty embarrassing for all of us.
Did you ever think to yourself that you didn't want him to play professional sport given the scrutiny that they're under these days?
Yeah, that's come across my mind quite a few times. I think social media has a lot to do with that. Sometimes it is hard and it hurts, because you think, well, that's my child or that's my husband that you're talking about. We've all got feelings. I'm a mum, I'm a wife.
For mum, it was something new, and I guess me and dad were probably kind of used to it, and you kind of have to generate a thick skin, and you got to take on that criticism.
2020 grand final. How did you feel when you walked into the sheds and saw Nathan for the first time?
That was pretty horrible, actually. The younger kids came into the dressing room with me. Anyway, they said, Mum, you got to come, Nathan's really sad. So they came and grabbed me, and I went over to Nat, and it was sad, and Nat was really upset, and it was nice to be able to be there and comfort him and tell him that, like it wasn't as bad as what he thought it was.
It definitely eased the pain, even though it was, something that hurt.
It was unfortunate that one game, but at the end of the day, he's going to have plenty of opportunities, I think, to win a grand final. So,
no pressure.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Thursday footy. Here's Nathan Cleary and Daniel Saifiti leading the teams out. The first match as part of the Anzac round. Out to Cleary, a stab kick.
Oh, good kick! Yeah!
Ponga takes it to them.
Oh, great tackle, Nat!
Well, superstar on superstar.
Cleary feeds, picked up by Yo at the back. A set move, Edwards!
Yeah! I like it when they score under the post too, for my son.
Luai for kick out for
Woo! Come on, Nat.
Cleary drills it from the touchline.
Yeah!
Full-time Panthers 24, the Knights 6.
What's it like seeing Nathan straight after a win, knowing that he got through injury-free?
Yeah, that's awesome. It's always nice to give him a cuddle.
And Nathan, you're never too old or too cool to give your mum a hug and a kiss after a game?
Nah, I don't reckon. I probably went through a stage when I was a teenager where it wasn't cool to hug your mum, but I love doing that kind of stuff now.
So when you think back to when Ivan coached Nathan as a 6-year-old, would you change anything now?
Absolutely not. No, I love it. I love it that they're together. Like, there was this beautiful photo last year that was captured. Just the expression on Nathan and Ive's face was exactly what we wanted and what we got.
Cleary's going in again! Unbelievable! The Panthers in celebration mode.
I know a lot of kids idolise Nat and look up to him, and so I'm super proud.
Nathan is your mum, the family's rock.
Yeah, definitely. We all know that, without mum, we probably struggle through a lot of times that we have, and she's always had my back no matter what's gone on, and she's probably the most caring person I've ever known, so she's always got everyone else's best interests at heart, and yeah, I'd be half the man I am today without her.